And we're back. See? All better.
Well done, Professor. It looks as good as new. Only took you like half a decade.
Quiet, you. It's quite the impressive vehicle.
Its shine is nearly blinding. It actually looks closer to the Layton mobile than the Layton mobile. Is there a room up in the attic? How charming. Ugh, I hate attic rooms. Too hot.
Coming. Yes. May I help you? Hello. My name is Herschel Layton. I'm an old friend of Mr. Triton's. He should be expecting me. Well, I will inform Master Triton. Please wait here.
Let's loot them for all the hint coins! Or find a puzzle.
Someone left a broom here.
Leaving this just sitting here makes things look rather shabby.
However, it does remind me of a puzzle. See for yourself.
Warned you, Emmy. Warned ya. Puzzle number 7. Mopping up. 45 picarettes. These poor quality mops take 2 days to dry after they've been used, and to handle completely breaks after only 3 uses. I love the voice you're creating for the characters. Why, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do put some effort into trying to voice act in general, and I love it whenever anybody else enjoys them as well. What is the minimum number of mops that you would need to clean every day for a 30-day month? Ooh, okay. So, if you created a 30-day month calendar... I'm just gonna use 5-day work, 5-day weeks because it's easier for me than a 7-day week. There, 30-day month. Okay, these poor quality mops take 2 days to dry after they've been used, and they handle completely breaks after just 3 uses. So if you use mop 1 here, you'd have to use mop 2 here, and then mop 3 here, then you use mop 1 and be done with it. Then you use mop 2, be done with it. No, you wouldn't be done with it. It has these 3 uses. So then this would be done with it, this would be done with it, this would be done with it. So you'd have to swap over to mop 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Then you'd have to start with 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? So you would need 12. That doesn't strike me as right. Maybe I'm underthinking this, actually. Completely breaks after 3 uses. Am I getting 3 uses out of every mop? No, because I'm on the last 3 mops that I need, I would only be getting 1 use out of them. But all the other mops, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. I've used you 3 times, used you 3 times, used you 3 times, so they would break. I'm gonna put in 12, but I'm almost certain it's the wrong answer.
I think I've got this one.
Well, that was an interesting animation.
I need to look at that again.
Try to be as economic with your mops as possible. This one's 45 picarettes, so it's actually pretty difficult. These poor quality mops take 2 days to dry after they've been used, so you can't use them. You can't use them one right after another. 2 days. Okay, so that works so far with my assumption. And the handle completely breaks after 3 uses. Well, here's the question, and this is an interesting one that you hear sometimes in philosophy or science or some various fields. At what point does a mop not become a mop? At what point is the mop a new mop? Which is to say, you have a mop, its handle breaks, you replace the handle. The bristles, or whatever the mop part is made out of, you replace that. Then the metal components that keep the mop together, you replace those. At what point is the mop no longer the same mop you had before? Unless you can answer that question, you wouldn't be able to answer part of this question because what? Oh, the handle broke. Fine, I'll just use a different handle. Boom. Now I'm using the same mop. But I think that's overthinking it now. So let's use some hint coins. Now, mops would be necessary for 30 days, and see if there's any way you can reduce that number. So I found 12 to be necessary for that many days. However, I don't need to do them in the order that I showed. Look, 10, 11, 12 are down here, right? What if I use mop 12 up here somewhere? Let's say I use mop 12 in place of 13, in place of 3. Or let's use mop 10, because I probably don't need to use all 12 mops if I do this. Alright, if I do that, then mop 3 can be pushed down more. To like here. So I have 2 extra uses of mop 10, and 2 extra uses of mop 11, and probably don't need mop 12. So we can push it down to at least 11. Alright, so if we do that, we can push mop 3 to here. If we use 10 there. And then let's say we use 10 here, and we can push a 2 down here. Alright, and by doing that, we still have 4, 5, and 6. 4 and 5 have extra uses. So we can push these off. So 10 right now is how many mops I can use. Let's see if that's the answer.
I'll handle this one, Professor. I did it, Professor.
You mop this puzzle up. You would need 10 mops. The trick is to use your 4th mop frugally. 3 mops are used up every 9 days. The 4th mop can be used once every on the 10th day. Follow up the same pattern next 10 days, and using your 4th mop again once. By the 30th day, you have used only 10 mops. You're gonna find overthinking is a common theme with me. So you see puzzles where others only see household objects. Haha, I suppose that's true. I'm gonna try that too. Okay, what's a good start? Light bulbs? Sponges? Flatware? She's definitely an assistant for Layton. That's for sure. Still a little suspicious of her, granted. Ma'am, can I help you? I don't suppose you were planning on visiting the Oracle here in town? If anybody could tell us where that is, that'd be wonderful. What is this Oracle? I wouldn't know anything about it. I'm just a poor old maid. You should ask Doland about that. Thank you. We shall. Sir, madam, Mr. Triton will now see you in the parlor. The parlor is through the door to the left. Wait here. Thank you, my good man. He said wait, and I immediately walked in. Oh my god, actual animation for moving.
I can't believe my eyes. Herschel, how long has it been?
I recognize that voice. They've used that voice in a previous game. Whose voice was it? Not Clive, certainly. But similar to Clive.
Ah, too long, my good friend.
And who might this be?
Oh, of course. How rude of me.
I'm the Professor's assistant, Emmy Altava. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Triton. I've heard so much about you.
Thank you. Herschel, an assistant. Well, we both seem to have moved up in the world.
Hardly. Truth be told, Emmy has already proven herself my equal.
Herschel, as humble as ever. Emmy, back in London, Layton and I both wanted to be elite archaeologists.
No, it's not Clive. It's definitely some Clive. But there's a different character that's almost spot on for this character.
One of us certainly succeeded, and somehow I found myself as mayor of this small, rural town.
That is no small feat, Clark.
Yeah, being a mayor, kind of a big deal. Anton. That's right. It does remind me of Anton in Diabolical Box.
Oh, Herschel, no need to humor me. It is amusing at best, I'll give you that.
Hey, Death Lotus, he voices a lot of people. I guess I kind of get that impression, too. They don't have too many voice actors for the Layton series, I suppose.
But all that aside, please, tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Thought so! You didn't actually write the letter! Wait. Did Luke write the letter? Because that would be amazing.
I came as soon as I received your letter.
Letter? I'm sorry, Herschel. What letter is that?
The letter that... Did you not send this letter? Please, have a look.
Yeah, I think Luke sent this letter. That's
I
super
certainly
cool.
did not write that. But who would have forged it?
Also a champion in League of Legends. Wow, that's a varied voice acting skill.
Who indeed? Have you made any enemies recently?
Of course, Herschel. I'm the mayor. It appears to me that someone wanted you here in town.
Yeah, that's always a terrible sign. Anytime someone wants Layton in town, something goes down bad.
Yes, that is what I am thinking now as well.
It's a curse worse than the Scooby Gang.
So, who wrote the secret message?
Good question, Emmy.
Mr. Triton, there was a hidden plea for help in that letter.
Clark, do you think this is simply the work of some prankster?
No, unfortunately I don't. Miss Tollery is in grave danger.
Alright, so it's definitely Miss Thallery, not Miss Tallery.
We have indeed been under attack by some sort of mysterious giant, just as that letter states. It wreaks havoc at night when the fog is thick. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it is true.
But how can that be?
I must confess I have yet to see this giant with my own eyes. However, the destruction of homes and buildings left in its wake, that is quite enough evidence for me.
He also does Kane from Final Fantasy IV. The only voice-acted Final Fantasy IV is the DS/PC version, which it is now, that I can think of. So, wow. That's interesting. I like this guy's voice, and I didn't know he was in so many places.
The townspeople are afraid. They believe that the Specter has returned with a vengeance.
But wait, wasn't the Specter originally protecting people from, from bandits and stuff? Why would it all of a sudden decide to start destroying homes?
The Specter?
There's a legend here that tells of an ancient spirit, a Specter. When the town was in danger, the Specter would act as Miss Tollery's guardian in its moment of need. But this Specter is different. Instead of protecting us, it is trying to destroy us.
Okay, that time I heard Miss Tallery and not Miss Thallery, and I'm getting very confused and annoyed about the pronunciation of this damn town. I'm gonna go start calling it Miss Place or some nonsense like that, just to spite all of you.
I am doing all I can, but if we are dealing with an ancient entity, then I fear my efforts are in vain. As the mayor, it is my duty to keep this town and its citizens safe. But Herschel, could you...
Sir?
What is it, Doland?
Pardon me, sir, but you mentioned that Professor Layton worked on some difficult cases for Scotland Yard. You said, with great pride, that he had assisted in solving them all.
No need for rudeness. No need to apologize, Dead Lotus. There's no rudeness. Hi.
Perhaps we could ask for his assistance here as well.
Of course, Doland. I suppose I have no other choice. Herschel, will you help us? Please, for an old friend.
Of course, Clark. I would never refuse a friend in need. I assure you, I will do what I can.
I don't know, PJ. We'll have to see and let the story progress. One of the things that people love from my blind streams is I speculate a lot. I like to hold off on the story whenever we hear even tiny details and try and piece together the story as we move on. So keep in mind, like, if I'm speculating and you've seen this game before, or you know where it's going or something like that, try no confirm deny. But like what you said there, that's perfectly valid, and that's a good position to look at. If the Specter is about protecting people and it's causing destruction, then it either is protecting other people or causing destruction because something has corrupted it or something. If we assume that it's actually a Specter, which I totally don't. I know Layton games enough, at least. I've played the first 3 before this. But I have some suspicions. You haven't played Specter? Okay. Streams are really entertaining. Well, thank you, Death Lotus. I appreciate that very much, actually. I try to be as entertaining as possible.
Thank you, Herschel. I am eternally in your debt.
Things are starting to get good, eh, Professor?
Emmy, your thirst for adventure should probably be pulled back a bit when people's houses are being destroyed.
Before we go, Clark, I haven't even asked about Brenda, or your son. How is Luke?
So he is Luke's father. Okay.
My wife is fine. She's away. Family matters. Luke has shut himself up in his room, as usual.
Oh my.
I would like to say hello to Luke, if that is all right. I haven't seen him since he was a baby.
I didn't know Layton knew Luke for that long.
Of course. I think he might enjoy that. I should warn you, he has been withdrawn lately. Some days, I can't even get him out of his room. I ask him what the matter is, and he responds with silence.
Yeah, well, kids that age usually have a hard time communicating what feelings they've got, if they even understand them.
Perhaps it would be good for him to talk to someone outside of the family. I would appreciate that, Herschel.
My pleasure, Clark. I shall have a few words with Luke before Emmy and I begin our investigation.
So this is exciting. The first official meeting between Luke and Layton once he's old enough to actually, remember the meeting. Chapter 2, The Boy Who Foretold Disaster. So I'm guessing Luke is the Oracle at this point. We don't know for certain. We don't know who or what the Oracle is supposed to be. But I have a feeling it's Luke. How old is he? Definitely younger than the previous games, but I don't know how much younger. We haven't, Layton hasn't given us an exact timeline. This mirror is so polished. I nearly greeted my reflection. A mirror reflects, but sometimes it can also complicate a problem. Take this puzzle, for example. Puzzle number 8, Mirror Ballroom, with 30 picarets. Ooh, one of these puzzles. It's all too easy to get lost in this big dusty hall. There are 14 mirrors set out in some sort of strange arrangement here. You're trying to find a way out. Your only clues are a small arrow on the floor and a laser pointer bearing the words, exit indicated by larger arrow. Which door is the exit? Oh. Alright, let's try and draw what the laser pointer is going to do. That doesn't seem right. Exit indicated by larger arrow. So what's supposed to happen, at least I think, is you're supposed to draw these and draw what it makes, and then it's going to make a couple of arrows, and you're supposed to choose which exit it is based on that arrow. However, I think I've already... Maybe I'm... Am I right in assuming it reflects like this, though? Because that just ends, and I don't think so. Played Legend of Dragoon. Actually, yes, Death Lotus, that's absolutely correct. The addition system in any emulation for Legend of Dragoon that I played doesn't work because the additions are lag too much. And while you could probably compensate with enough practice to be able to figure out and get the timing, in your head and knowing exactly when you need to press it, it complicates the combat and makes it less interesting and less fun to play when the addition system is broken. But yeah, that's the case. I would love to LP Legend of Dragoon. It's definitely an RPG I'd love. However, it would be non-blind, for 1, and 2, it's really long, and 3, the addition system, though. If I could fix the addition system, I'd probably try and manage it. But yeah, okay, I think I'm messing something up if the, Let's see what the hint says. You don't know much about lasers, you might not realize that they aren't just used by rampaging aliens in movies. Laser pointers are great at making straight beams of light. Typically, the beam will be powerful enough to reflect off any shiny surface it hits. Yeah, we know that. But am I wrong in how it would reflect? Maybe it would reflect more like this. No, it wouldn't. What the? Oh, that's an eraser. Huh. Boing, boing, boing. This is all I keep getting to, so I know I don't understand this laser well enough. However, if it does something like that, because it would come back, is what I noticed. So if it comes back and you do this... then guess what? We repeat. Oh, but it creates an arrow! Ha!
I think I've got this one. You can't let a puzzle intimidate you.
I guess I was confused because it would expect the laser to... No, because it would create that. It would create that shape. Which I completely missed for a while. Very focused. The beam from the laser pointer creates a really large arrow that points to B. That must be the exit. But why did it say larger arrow? That seems to imply that there was more than one arrow that could be created. Also... okay, the emulator decided to freeze for a second there. Minor panic, but we're fine. I'm very impressed, Emmy. So I've proven myself worthy enough to be your assistant? But of course, I never doubted your abilities, Emmy. Actually, since he straight up called you an equal, I think you proved your capabilities as an assistant a long time ago. And I don't think Layton is as humble as it sounds. I think he's just realistic. Let's go ahead and save. I wonder if we've gotten any more episodes or anything, because those episodes are super interesting. No new episodes, no new mysteries, no nothing new. Oh well.
Luke's room is upstairs. Good luck. You're going to need it.
I'm kind of giving him the voice I gave for Clive a little bit, because that's the closest voice I can get to whatever this guy does. Playing Diabolical Box right now because of your playlist on YouTube. Well, that's great. Diabolical Box was a wonderful flippin' game, and I hope you play it and enjoy it and have fun with it too. Hopefully you'll be better at the puzzles than I am. Alright, upstairs to see Luke. Coins, coins, coins. Oh, that's the door.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Perhaps. Luke, my name is Herschel Layton. I'm a friend of your father's. Could we talk for a moment?
Certainly. But first, you'll have to solve my door puzzle.
Yep, that's Luke, all right.
Your door puzzle? Ah, I see. Luke means to test our mettle with a puzzle.
That's so cute, Professor. Let's do it.
Everybody in this world tests your metal with a puzzle. I don't know if it's cute, it's just how it works here.
So we shall.
If you are truly the esteemed Herschel Layton, then this puzzle should be no problem. You'll have 15 seconds to perform a specific action in front of the door.
Just a second, young one. How are we to know exactly what it is we're supposed to do?
You may search the area outside the door as much as you like.
I'm trying to give him a different voice than what I usually gave Luke because he's younger in this game. So, I'll work on it.
And when we're ready to perform the action, whatever it may be, we should let you know. Correct. But I will tell you now, you can't do anything to solve this puzzle.
Examine the area thoroughly by tapping the area's stylus. When you think you know what to do, tap Call Luke. You can't do anything to solve this puzzle, so we're just supposed to stand still, probably. Luke is so quiet. We haven't actually seen him yet!
This card says, Happy 7th birthday. How adorable. This must have been one of Luke's birthday presents. Oh, this little stuffed teddy is so soft. Don't touch my bear! Well, that seems to be rather important to him, Emmy. Perhaps we should let it alone for now. I was just looking at it. Relax, Luke.
So, Luke is 7 years old. That's pretty damn young.
It appears that Doland has left Luke's lunch outside his door. Luke, if you don't come out and get your lunch, you'll get cold.
And I just may end up eating all of it myself.
If you're really that hungry, you can have it.
Oh, well, that didn't work. She's trying so hard.
Is this a picture of Miss Valerie? I believe so. The town looks quite magical when it's enveloped in mist. Professor, wait! Do you think there's a hint for opening door within this picture? Let's take a closer look. I don't see anything here.
There is no hint. There is nothing. He's already told us the answer.
This plate looks handmade. The number 2 is impressed on it. Oh, there's something written on the back of it.
Put the plate back so the back of its back is back facing the door.
Professor, I think my brain just melted.
I think the part of my brain that performs words just melted.
It's not difficult if you take your time with it. Be sure to examine anything near your feet. Not that it matters. There's nothing you can do to get through this door. Luke, can I ask a question? You just did. Cute. You said that we must do something in front of the door. How will you know if we did it? I mean, how can you tell from behind a closed door? Even though I can't see you, I'll know what you're doing from here. Really? And how is that? I can speak no more. Let's figure it out from there. He'll know even if he can't see. So what is he looking for here?
Silence.
We're ready, Luke. You know what you have to do? I believe so, yes. Professor, are you sure? Then let's begin. Please stand in front of the door. And remember, you can't do anything to solve this puzzle.
Sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Puzzle solved.
That is what you had to do. You can't do anything to solve this puzzle. Or in other words, to solve this puzzle, you can't do anything. Inverse logic. I like it. Nothing was the thing that we had to do to solve this riddle. An interesting puzzle, Luke.
Cameras don't exist. Actually, Emmy has a camera. But this is set far enough back that I'm pretty sure that her camera, which by the way needs to have film developed, quite obviously, it definitely wasn't digital. They certainly didn't have things like security cameras or the like. But the fact that the 2 was depressed in there makes me think that there was a hole he could look through, but Emmy specifically took it and spun it around and looked at the door. So there wasn't a hole there either. That means the only thing he could see was nothing. He was listening for us to do something. So if we stood in front of the door and simply said nothing, it solves the puzzle.
So even from the inside of his room, he could hear us if we did something. Now, Luke, are you convinced that we are who we say we are? Luke, will you open the door now? As I promised.
He's so tiny. And angry.
A clever puzzle, Luke. Your letter. I thought you might want it back.
Professor, you think Luke wrote the letter?
Clark was never a fan of typed correspondence. He always wrote his letters out in longhand. Moreover, only someone very close to Clark would know about our past together. This someone would know I could never ignore a friend in need.
Are you really Professor Layton?
Is this true, Luke? How could you do something like this? What were you thinking? Were you even thinking at all?
Harsh. Obviously, put a lot of thought into it.
Don't you turn your back on me again.
Clark, please.
Forgive me. The boy has barely spoken to me in the last 6 months. He's been so withdrawn since the appearance of the Specter, I don't know what else.
Very soon, the world will end.
The world, your world, his world, or some variation between. Because when you say world, there's so many metaphorical concepts.
The end of the world? What do you mean by that?
Oh my gosh, he looks so different, his portrait does. He's so young.
I mean what I just said. Luke, you can't say something like that and not elaborate. He just won't open up to anyone. He wasn't always like this. When he does speak, it only to say something inscrutable, as you saw. Prophecies. Absurd. Prophecies. It's all my fault. What are you talking about, Clark? I'm sorry. I have urgent business to attend to in my study. We can discuss this later. Luke, Mr. Layton is a close friend. Please talk with him. Perhaps you could even help him. Thank you, Herschel. I'm afraid that it's time for Master Luke to retire.
What? Now? We're right in the middle of something. It's still light out.
Nevertheless, it is bedtime. If I may, Dolan, I'd like to ask Luke just one more thing. Luke.
The father has to go away. He certainly doesn't trust his father. I definitely get that impression as well. He immediately clammed up as soon as his father entered the room. And his father immediately went for the, "What are you thinking? What is wrong with you, child?" Not earning a ton of trust with the 7-year-old. Terrible idea. So yeah. And specifically calling for Professor Layton. Luke is showing many traits of being way smarter than his age suggests. Let's just say that.
Luke, though the town has been repeatedly attacked by the Specter, no one has been injured. It seems that an oracle alerts the townspeople about which areas to evacuate from. Luke, I believe that you are this oracle. Am I correct?
Now, before we move on, I believe, yes, that Luke's the oracle. And I believe that he's not getting some divine inspiration or some prophecy, like his father seemed to indicate. I think Luke is actually just that smart, and he's done something that he can logically figure out exactly where the Spectre's going to attack from next. Now, whether he fully understands that he figured this out, or if it's more instinctual and he doesn't completely understand the thought process behind it, I don't know yet. But either way, it indicates that he's really, really smart.
What? Absurd! Luke, I must ask you a very important question. Do you know when the Spectre will appear next?
See, that's exactly what I was thinking, PJ. I was like, why is the first thing you're doing not hugging this kid and being happy he's talking with someone? No, he instinctively went for the punish the kid route. Not a good sign.
Master Luke will not stand for such balderdash. Please leave at once.
Also, don't trust the butler.
Tonight? The Spectre will appear tonight.
But how could you know that?
Tonight. If you want, I can also show you where it'll appear next. I would very much like that, Luke. Master Luke, this joke is in poor taste.
Please don't tell my father about this, Dolan.
Master Luke, are you certain this is okay?
Yes, Dolan. Dolan, did you tell the townspeople? Okay. So the butler's helping Luke out. Trust him a little bit more now.
Did you tell them about the Spectre just as before? I did. I'll make a final tour of the area to ensure that everyone is gone.
But then where will the Spectre appear tonight? Great Ellie Street. The butler believes Luke, and he's trying to protect Luke from other people. I see.
Then we must go now. Even if we can't stop the Spectre, we must confirm Luke's prediction. Good luck.
Is that where the cutscene in the beginning comes from, then? Luke foretells. Luke seems to be able to predict precisely where and when the Spectre will appear. But how?
I find it hard to see how Luke can predict the Spectre's appearance without ever leaving the house.
He's always seen looking out the window. So, and because this is sort of on a hill compared to the rest of the town, he's got a really good view of the entire town. So, are the witch's marks before or after? I mean, if they were before, then he would simply say, oh, he sees the witch's marks and knows where in town the Spectre's going to appear. But if it was that simple, anybody could do it. It wouldn't need Luke's abilities. So he sees something they don't. Is it just a matter of perspective from what's out the window, or is he seeing just something more observant?
An excellent collection of children's literature.
Must have been typed on this machine, so that's the typewriter.
A violin. It does strike me as quite a gentlemanly pursuit.
Dolan, please don't tell Father that I'm going out.
Very well, Master Luke. The celery can be dangerous at night, even for those familiar with its secrets. Do be careful. Thank you, Dolan. I will. Professor Layton, Luke seems set on accompanying you. I trust you will look after him.
You have Layton's word as a gentleman. Specter seems to make a sound, right? Maybe Luke can hear something others can't? I don't know. If it was that... Wait! He can! That's right! Luke can talk to animals, and he can understand animals as well. Maybe the Specter is some kind of animal? Or there's an animal inside of it, or something. Maybe that would make sense. But that would mean that he would have to hear the Specter talk about, like, where it's going to be next. So unless he stays up for every attack and hears it during the attack, he would have to be able to hear it during the day. So maybe it's not the Specter he's hearing. Maybe animals are what he's hearing, and the animals are talking about the Specter, and they know something the rest of the town doesn't. That would make sense. There's 3 hint coins. Also, please ignore the fact that we're stealing your son.
I'm sorry, Layton. I'm afraid the timing for our reunion is less than ideal. I'm sure you understand. I must deal with the Specter. And Luke has been so distant lately. Of course, no man or father is without his share of concerns. I will start investigating the Specter. You try to get some rest. Yes, thank you, Layton. You're a good friend. If I need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, I'm stealing your son.
Where are we headed, Luke? The Specter will appear tonight on Great Ellie Street in the North Ellie District. The boy we met earlier said they were evacuating that area. It seems that Dolan has given them my warning. Luke, what's the fastest way to North Ellie? There's an intersection past the boat landing, and there we need to go north. I'll show you the way. That's the area the police blocked off, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I believe the police have been helping with the evacuation. We saw a house earlier that had been destroyed by the Specter. Do you know anything about that? Brock's house, you mean? Yes, it was attacked. No one was hurt, but his house was destroyed.
End of their friendship. Layton stole his son. Well, we know for the fact that's not true, because they seem to have positive interactions later. Wait a minute. The scene on the upper screen. Hold on. The scene, the bigger one that you see now, on the in the middle of the screen. I think we've seen that exact thing before. The outhouse in the middle of mist, and then the forest behind it, and the trees. That looks really familiar. Can't say from where though. So what? That was the Specter's handiwork? I certainly hope we can keep the people, we hope we can help the people of Miss Valerie, Professor. I'm sure we'll find something useful in North Ellie. But first, I'd like to see all of the damaged buildings. Has the Specter attacked many areas around town, Luke? I'm afraid so, Mr. Layton. Let's go back to Brock's house. I would like to be certain that we didn't miss anything the first time. Maybe Luke can give us some insight as to the witch's mark. Curious Village? Maybe.
Hey there, Luke's my boy! Glad to see you've gotten some fresh air, kid. Oh, hello, Bucky. Growing boys like you need to get outside and play. You trust old Bucky. You'll have a lot of fun playing outside with this. Thank you very much, Bucky.
The toy train minigame has been added to the trunk. Huh. A new course for the toy train, Bucky's train. Bucky gave you a toy train set. Toy train has been added to the professor's trunk. Lay down your tracks and let your train do the rest. Try and collect all the different courses. Oh, Bucky scares me.
Look at these rugged overalls. They're perfect for boating. Come back later for a boat ride. Right now we're dealing with maintenance issues. But we'll be back up floating soon. Be sure to stop by then.
I sure hope we don't talk to you too much. You kind of hurt my voice. Lay down tracks that will take the train through every station and then to the goal. Start from the colored number panel and drag your tracks across the course to the red goal panel. The train uses 1 unit of fuel for every piece of track. You'll need enough fuel for the tracks that you lay down. Crossing tracks we previously placed will create a T-shaped rail crossing. Each station must be passed in a specific direction. Some require you to place tracks horizontally, others need vertical tracks. Pick up fuel in the course to add to your supply gauge. Mountains, houses, and trees may block your path. Look out for cars and other trains, too. The colored starting panel is marked with the number of cars the train will pull. Place tracks carefully to avoid collisions with any obstacles. You may have to direct 2 trains at once. Both trains will share fuel gauge, so be careful. Touch clear to remove all the tracks you placed. Touch go to see it in motion. You get new courses as you go through the investigation. See what happens when we complete all the courses. We probably won't, but we'll at least try each one. Hey there, so you're going to try out the course old Bucky made especially for you? Get the train through all 3 stations to the goal, and I guarantee you'll feel as happy as a hippo in the mud. Oh. Right. I'm supposed to do this now. Here, okay. Haha! Nope, this won't work. Clear. That won't work either. That's not going to work. Hip in the mud, I would say pig in the mud. The hippos like mud too. That takes all 30, but it does it. Choo-choo! Chugga, 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 chugga. And we did it! Congratulations, you have completed Bucky's train. That's that done. We even got a little gold stamp thing. Oh wait, I should save while we're here. Still need any help, ma'am?
Thank you for your help again. Oh, is that Luke? Hello, Jasmine. I've been worried about you. I haven't seen you around lately. Jasmine, have you been moved out of North Ellie? Unfortunately, that is so. He said it wasn't safe. You're not headed there, are you? Well, Of course not. You wouldn't be so silly. Oh, what would I do if something happened to you, Luke? You be careful, Jasmine.
Alright, you're the guy who talked about solving 5 consecutive puzzles.
Oi, yous! This area is off limits. Can't let you pass. Well then, let's try looking elsewhere for now.
Oh well, I guess we need to go to that building that got crushed. Hey, Brock.
That Specter crushed my house. Now I've got flat. Beat that! I'm sorry about your home. It was lucky you weren't hurt. It wasn't luck. The Oracle said the Specter was coming. That Oracle should become a meteorologist. The police evacuated us out of here. Sure. What now? I think I let my Specter insurance lapse. Feel free to laugh with me anytime here, folks. Laughing at a time like this can make some of us feel rather sad. True enough. Let's leave him. He needs time to deal with this. Luke, what other places were hit by the Specter? There's a house east of the crossroads that is still being repaired. Then let's head there. Luke, after you. Alright, let's go.
Ooh, a new episode, The Laughing Man. These are some interesting characters. Well, let's learn some more information about the Laughing Man. Brock's house was completely demolished by the Specter, but he's not going to let it get him down. He believes that he just keeps laughing and he'll be happy.
Not really.
Whoa, he looks downright dejected compared to his normal personality.
Oh, how terrible. Just awful. I'm so sorry about your house, Brock. Brock, listen. We're going to rebuild your place, okay? If we all pitch in, we'll have your house rebuilt in no time at all. No. No what? I kind of like having a house with no walls. Or ceiling. Or house. It's almost like living on a beach. I can just sit out here in my swimsuit all day. Well, that's certainly one way to look at it. I can take a nap and get a nice suntan at the same time. I'll need a good book, though.
Wow, Brock. That's one way to deal with tragedy, I suppose. The library is closed today. Aww.
Some houses along the canal were damaged by the Specter. Most of them have been repaired by now. Was there any connection between the damaged houses? What are you thinking, Professor? Oh, nothing. Yet. But you must be thinking about something. We're going to need to gather a bit more information here, Emmy. Luke, where else can we see evidence of the attacks? I'm sorry, but I think this is the only place that would have any damage remaining. Alright, let's head to North Ellie and see if the Spectre will appear there next. North Ellie is just north of the crossroads. I'll show you the way. I hope the police aren't still blocking the way.
No, there go! Damn it, mouse!
That's odd. What's odd? I'm sure I just saw a mouse pop out of the pipe.
No, it just ran across our feet and I need to get it now.
Really? Cool. I've got a puzzle about rodents that I've been wanting to show someone. Would you like to try it?
Puzzle number 10. Rat rations, worth 45 picarets. Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one. Oh no! No! It's a sliding block puzzle! Ah! I have a history with sliding block puzzles, and it's not a good one. This rat hid his key behind a supply of cheese. He is paranoid about it being found, so he wants to change its hiding place. The only problem is that his cheese is in the way. Can you help the rat move his key from the hiding place to the right, on the right to the matching space directly to the key's left? Oh no! It's a sliding block puzzle! Oh, I'm gonna whine and cry about this for a while. No, that's part of the enjoyment of this series, is listening to me get owned by puzzles. Trust me, it is extremely important. Oh, okay, that's how it moves. That's super weird. Oh, you can move them together. Interesting. That doesn't actually help me just yet. Okay, that does a whole lot of nothing. We're using hint coins. Did you notice that you can move two pieces of cheese at the same time? Start by moving the two rightmost pieces down, then try to make space in the bottom left corner. Boom! Space in the bottom left corner. Next hint coin. Continuing from hint 1, make space in the top right corner, move the key down into it. Move the key in the open space, one open space to the left. There. Continuing from hint 2, after moving the key, fit the C-shaped cheeses together in the right wall. Next, move the flat cheese to the bottom and move the L-shaped cheese to the other flat cheese in the left wall. Wait, no. You'd have to do something like that. That doesn't work at all. Unless you do something like that, which I could do with you going there. There we go. No, hold on. I did it! Oh my god! Oh, it took all the hit coins. And it didn't take me an hour this time! Didn't take me an hour. Well done! How about some rest after with a nice piece of cheddar as payment for your hard work? If you were going to eat the cheese, why didn't you eat the cheese before needing to do the sliding block puzzle? You damn stupid mouse! I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
I swear I saw a mouse. I'm not imagining things.
Miss Valerie doesn't have mice. Sorry, I mean, it clearly has mice! Clearly! They're running all over the place and I can't catch them! Oh, it's gone! Because I clicked the damn puzzle first, it's gone. Try and reset it. I don't know if it'll work, it didn't work before, but... Mousy? Damn it! Okay, from now on, you don't click things until you're sure there isn't a mouse around. Hello, Thomas.
Why, it's little Luke Triton. Where's your father today?
My father is at home.
I see. I wanted to ask you what I could have done to make your mother so angry with me. She always came by to talk over her travel plans. This time she left without a word. She must have had some reason she didn't want to talk to me. And to go off alone? She always loved family vacations. Unless her and your father were fighting. Oh, sorry, Luke. Don't listen to me, I'm just babbling. Your parents get along better than anyone. Just let me know when your mom gets back in the town.
She's been gone quite a while. I don't know when she'll be back.
Sometimes adults have to go and do their own thing for a bit. She'll be home soon to spoil you rotten.
Alright, there's our hint coins. Let's move on. Is his mother dead? All they've said is vacation or gone on a trip. So, there hasn't been any damage from the Specter in that area. Should probably just head straight to North Alley. Well, fine then. Invisible plot walls in the shape of Luke Triton. Yay, the cop's gone. You never catch me, copper. Always check mailboxes in these games. So wait, if that's not where the mayor / Clark lives, then who lives there? I always used to trip running down this road when I was little. You're still little! You're 7 years old!
Hey there.
No. Hey there. Tourists, eh?
Yes, well, something like that.
My name is Mito. Call me Mito. I won't go into details, but you should leave at once. Miss Valerie is dangerous right now. Sightseeing is not a good idea. Are you referring to the Specter? If so, you needn't worry. How do you know about the Specter? The legend of the Specter is not supposed to leave our borders. Always check chimneys. This? Chimneys too. We've been asked by Mayor Triton to investigate the affair. The mayor? Really? Perhaps he's more competent than I thought. But how good are your deductive skills? Let me see you work here. Puzzle number 11. Downhill from here. Only 10 picarets. I'm gonna overthink this. While this photograph shows two cyclists passing each other on a hill, the camera was tilted when it was taken, making the incline look completely flat. You can tell which side the photo is actually uphill. Which side is actually uphill? He's not pedaling, so he's downhill.
I think I've got this one. That puzzle was no problem.
Correct! The side marked A is uphill. The cyclist on the right doesn't have his feet on the pedals. That must mean he's letting gravity do all the work as he coasts downhill. I see you've got some potential. Good news for us. Good luck on your investigation.
Can you tell us anything about the Specter?
No. But I do wonder why the Specter chose to show up now. You've had a problem with these sinkholes appearing lately. Seen some unnaturally thick fog, too. So many problems in our little town these days. Strange mist. Whenever the Specter appears, the village is enshrouded in unusually thick fog. Is this also the work of the Specter? And yeah, I did see the bunny and the kitty. They were adorable.
They say the fog is thick enough to completely obscure one's vision. Is it the Specter's doing?
Obviously, it's meant to cloak something.
this is North Alley. You're a great tour guide, Luke. You're as good as you are delivering hidden messages. Hidden messages? Yes, like the one in the letter where you wrote Help SOS. What was that all about? I believe that test was intended for me. Luke here was hoping to find someone he could trust. Because sometimes it's difficult to share the secrets with those closest to you. And it's always easier to speak with someone who understands you. Would that be fair to say, Luke? Judging by his expression, I'd say you've impressed Luke with your powers of observation, Professor. Luke, is there something you'd like to tell us? You can trust us. I can't. Not now. That's fine, Luke. We can wait until the time is right. For now our hands are full with the Specter. We need to find a place where we can safely observe the Specter. The second floor of the Hotel of Great Alley looks down onto the street. That is our next destination, then. Wow, okay. Yeah, that spam got through my chat thing, when it shouldn't have. I'm gonna go ahead and time that out, just so it gets purged. On my chat message, all it says is spam deleted. I'm guessing that's a Better Twitch TV thing. However, on the chat that shows up on stream, obviously you can see the full message, and I don't want that kind of spam there. So, apologies for that. Now I know what spam deleted means. But now we've solved the mystery of the letter. The letter was actually written by Clark's son, Luke. He sought the professor's help and wrote in code so that the message would be safe from prying eyes. The letter, within which Luke hid a secret message, was intended to lead me to this town. And with that discovery, I think it is good time for our next break. So, get up, stretch, whatever you need to do, be able to keep watching comfortably, and I will be right back.